Hello. Welcome to video 3. Just wanted to make a follow-on video. Like I said in the previous one, I want to keep the ball rolling every 2 or 3 days instead of once a week. Just to quickly get into the video, I don't want to talk about this and waffle on about it, but I've given up on the actual floodlights. I've tried my best to adjust to the way that they've done the lighting in this game, and it's hurting my brainsicle. I hate this weird light decal system what they have, so it sort of makes a weird box come out of the light, but that's not actually light. The game agrees with me with that howl. That was a perfectly timed howl. What the fuck was that? Anyway, it's like a box, but that's actually not casting light. And the actual light itself isn't casting light either. It's just putting a light decal down in the direction that it's faced. And I've come across a few hitches with it where it's not actually placing the light at all. So in one direction, I've got a beautiful light lit up area, but then in the other direction, the bloody thing's not casting any kind of light. And I got so frustrated that I decided to just say, fuck the lighting system in this game. And we're moving on. So, from now on, you're going to see fake lights. I'm sorry, but bleh, the fucking floodlights are terrible. But, so this originally had floodlights on it, and it was really narking me. I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought I was placing them down wrong, but no. It's just the way that this game does lighting. So I scrapped it, and I decided to put this on top instead. And this is now going to be my new sort of... I wish that these actually gave off light, but they don't. These are going to be my light towers, so that you can see in the dark, but you can't because they don't actually emanate light. Moving on. Anyway, yeah, this took me a little bit. I think it's quite nice just for it to be a sort of light tower, but still. So moving on. Let's get in it. Come through, you've seen the factory. I have made a little bit of change to it. I've added more beams around. I haven't quite finished it. But yeah, so there's going to be more beams. Like I've missed a beam here. There's going to be more beams throughout the factory. Just to sort of give it a more realistic approach to the way that factories normally are. I don't know. I kept looking at it thinking it needed a little bit extra. I've completely reworked the cabling, and I'll get to the reason why in a minute. So all the cabling used to be on the outside of the building. I've now brought it on the inside, and that's because I've done a tuck job. All of the buildings in the factory now go through a power bank. They do not go to the grid. So everything within all the area that I've built so far, none of it is connected to my grid system. The battery bank is. So I'll get to that in a sec. It's not a major battery bank. It's just something to add in because I wanted to sort of future-proof the factory. I wanted to make sure that if I do something stupid outside of the factory, like I overload the circuitry or something elsewhere, that this factory would still continue to run. That's the only reason for it. So yeah. So we got all these new beams, all new, all new wiring for the electricity. We come through. Oh, that's a bit of a preview. We come through. I did say in the previous video I wanted to make a centralized area for the front of the factory, a sort of walkway through, and I wanted to put like batteries or something, like in a little building nearby. And I settled for this. So there's 3 batteries in there, and they're all on. You can see that. I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah. So we've got 3 batteries. We've got the light tower. It's a shame it's not actually emanating light, but still. And these little pathways. It took me a little bit of finessing, should I say, to come up with this, but yeah, so we've got slanted lights down the center. It's pretty easy. After I was playing around, I was trying to figure it out. You just place down one of these. These are the painted beams that you get from the shop. You buy those from the shop. So you just put it out, and then before you click, you scroll wheel, and you can actually decide where to scroll wheel to it. So you can actually slope it, and then you just have to place this on top to get lights to be on top. So there you go. So now we got like centralized pathways. So this took a little bit of going because like I had to figure out how to do like the curve and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you can sort of see that most of the flooring is a little bit strange. It's a little bit peculiar because I've had to overlay overlays. It's fucking weird, but still. Moving in, I've put this in because I would like to be able to travel around the facility without only... Because I'm trying to, you know, use flight less and less. I actually want to use game logic and physics and stuff. So one of them is the little toy car. The little cart thing. But I've got a bigger plan for that. I'll get to that, but still. So, but the actual factories themselves, I was thinking that I actually set up an internal system for the zip line. I thought this would be pretty cool to be able to go around the factory on a zip line. This is just me throwing it into the wind. I don't really know if it's going to be that great. I just wanted to have more fun, accessible things. And so I decided that. So we've now got a maintenance tunnel. Get to that in a minute. So many things to get to. Yeah. So this little thing, I'll get to that in a sec. I'm going to drive it. Coming through, nothing's really changed over here. I haven't done anything on this side of the factory. It's pretty much the same as what you've seen. But I've made some big changes on this side. Oh boy, let's start. Okay, so the maintenance tunnel. Initially, I thought I was going to use some kind of underground system tunnel, whatever, to get from one side to the other. And then I realized that I could use the battery banks that I'm trying to do. So, as you see, a battery block, section A. There's 5x5 in there, so there's 25 batteries. And over here, section A. So this is now cornered off. This side of the factory is section A. And when I create this over here, there's going to be 2 section Bs for power. That's more than enough power for the factory if I accidentally trip the system. My system on this side is currently using about 1,000 megawatt hours. The battery could store, what is it, 2.5 megawatt hours. So I've got a good 2.5 hours of power before the system shuts down. I think that's pretty good. You know? But that's per battery bank. I mean, because there's 2.5 over there and there's 2.5 over there. There's also 2.5 here and there's going to be 2.5 over there. So it's going to be a lot of power distribution throughout the facility, just sitting there waiting to be used in case of an overthrow. But still. So this building is not finished, and neither is the copper factory. But I'll get to the copper first. Actually, it's probably a good idea for me to start there. So yeah, let's actually go from here. So you go through the middle, it brings you out here. We've got a nice standing tower with the lights. It's a shame it doesn't emanate. We come in, we got the factory to the right. On the left, this hasn't been set up yet, but this is going to be cable production. And we come around to the back, and we can go up the slope, which takes us to the copper wire factory. Oh. What's that showing? Weird. Oh. Doing stuff on the fly. You gotta love it. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this is producing 112.5, as I said in the previous video. We've got some kind of storage and whatever, but so there's a lot of copper being made here, but I don't actually think, now that I've got it set up, I don't actually think that this is enough copper for me. Oh, look at this as well, by the way. Figured out how to make a fucking slope. But I don't think this is enough copper for me to actually sustain what I need for the rest of the facility, which is the reason why everything's on hold at the moment, and I've stopped making the sort of building adjustments that I've been doing throughout, because I might actually need another iron line coming in that is creating another separate copper stack, and I think I might actually put that on top of the building that I'm currently in. So it's going to be a 3-high stack building, which is going to be really cool, but it's a shame because I didn't want to do that. But the amount of copper wire that I need is going to be quite large. I might, this is the reason why I've put it on hold and why I've not done anything else, I might actually do some buildings with the quick wire recipes instead of the copper wire. Again, I haven't looked into it properly yet, so I've stopped myself so I don't waste too much time building out stuff. But yeah, so everything's just currently on hold. I'm like, we'll make some changes. But yeah, this is the current factory. I haven't built staircases for these yet. Well, whatever. Everything's on hold. And it has to be, because I haven't quite figured it out. But either way, so we've got the exit. Not sure what I'm doing with that side of the building. I'm going to ignore that. This little patch here is going to be storage, because I did say that I wanted to move this. This is the reinforced iron plate storage. I want to move that because it's in the way, and I want to pull it over here, so I'll have a few lines of that. And I've noticed that I'm not storing where is it? These. I'm not storing these either. They're just sitting there in the actual forge themselves. So I need to bring that into storage. So what I'm thinking of doing is connecting, because there's only 2 of them, I think. There's only 2 buildings, maybe 3, that is making them. So I'm just going to bring them straight across and store them in here. And these are going to be stored next to them. So I'm going to have iron and reinforced iron plating in one location. That'll be really cool. Pretty cool. So, you know, whatever. A lot has happened. Anyway, this building. We come in. I'm making minor adjustments here and there for this because I've only just built it, and I'm not entirely sure if this is the proper layout that I am going to go with and stick with for now. But I do quite like it, so we'll see. But either way, so we come up to a nice, clean factory. We've got a nice little centralized line here. I thought this was cool for it to be right in the middle. It's really cool. So yeah, these buildings are going to be making the motors. So we got 3 rotors and 3 stators coming in. The crystal oscillator is on the roof. I'll get to that in a sec. And these are creating 20 per minute. 10 per minute. And these buildings are only able to use 10 per minute. So I've had to underclock these slightly without going full for them to be able to cope, because I've got 2 of them. So 2 buildings to each one of these. So, you know, it's pretty good. The crystal oscillator is up on the roof. Again, these buildings are not finished. But yeah. So if we go on the roof, the recipe for this is pretty easy, straightforward. Quartz crystal, I'm already bringing it in. I just need to pipe it in. The cable, that's on hold. This is the reason why I've had to stop everything, because I've realized that the copper isn't quite going to give me what it is that I need. So, and then obviously the reinforced iron plates right next to it when I've moved it over here. So this is a perfect location for this building. Perfect location for the rotors, the stators, and the oscillators to be able to make the motors. The brum brum. I'm still not done. So, so maintenance tunnels. I looked at this and I thought it would be pretty cool if I could get to the distant parts of the factory using an underground system, but then I thought what I could also introduce is the actual power for the facilities, and I could put the power as maintenance under the factory. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna go and show you. I'm just gonna grab this. Why not? Nino, Nino. No, stop it. Get in. So, we come into the maintenance. Out. No, stop. These things are so weird. But yeah, so what I was thinking of, it's a big long tunnel. That's not connected yet. I do need to connect it. There's just so many fucking things that I'm doing. So yeah, we've got the line coming in. This is grid. The grid is going into the switch. The switch is then going up into the battery bank. The battery bank is right underneath this. So the cable looks a bit weird. I do need to fudge it around, and I do need to enclose this off so, you know, you don't want, you know, factory workers coming in here and touching this. You want it to be closed off with all signs, with warning signs and everything that says danger, high voltage. But yeah, I'm creating a lot of power. So it's 5,000, 2.5, 2.5, and that one's not connected in yet. I'm going to connect that in when I build the other battery bank. So there we go. But I now have the foundation, long tunnel, that allows me to be able to drive in and around and through. And that's where these little things are going to come in, which will allow me to get around the facility. It's going to be really cool. Donk. I love how these tiny things have still got a turning circle of a truck. That was weird. Either way. I didn't do that, by the way. I don't know what caused that. But yeah, so a lot to do. A little bit's on hold. Can't really go any further until I've figured something out. We got the cable lines coming in. These are just floating. I haven't even put pillars up like I did on this side, so that, you know, the weight ratio. Look, see, look, pillars to hold it up to make it look like that they're not just gonna fall over. They're all connected with pillars. Oh, what the? But either way, factory's getting there. Over probably the next week, I'm going to try my best to stream. I have not been streaming this whatsoever. Over the weekend, I've been bad. I've been ill. I've been getting a lot of migraine headaches, and I've just not been healthy of mind, should we say, for me to go live. I know that a few people have actually gone to my Twitch and followed me. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's just a slow fucking thing, and I've just not been in the mood to stream. I'm sorry for that. I'm gonna try to stream as much as I can this week, so you'll probably see another video this weekend. You know, I don't think I'm gonna make another video until like Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Loads of buildings, loads of things. And I know I'm like rushing out the commentary, but I'm really trying to keep these videos short and sweet. But still, thank you for watching. Yeah, this is video 3, just giving you the heads up as to what I'm doing. Thank you. Ta-da a bit. Maybe I won't say that. Take care.